I would like to raise 2 points about the issue of housing, the housing disaster, and how in this country and how it affects the education system. Firstly, students who want to attend third-level courses in institutions of their choice are curtailed because of affordable student accommodation is not possible for the ordinary student because it is unaffordable. Therefore, they may choose a course that is not their top priority so that they can commute to courses because they need to live at home as they cannot afford the rent. And maybe they decide not to go to third level because they cannot afford to study and need to work to contribute to the family income because the cost of living is so high in this country. In my own constituency in Dublin South Central, particularly in Dublin 8, there has been a swell of student accommodation built over the last number of years. The area is very close to city centre and has easy access to college and universities, and it should be fantastic for students to live there. However, the cost of this student accommodation is far beyond what an ordinary student can afford. Rents of approximately €1,250 per month for a one-bedroom student room with a shared kitchen. Certainly for a self-funded student, it is completely unaffordable. Student accommodation is vitally important in our economy for students, and it must be appropriate and affordable. And only today I read about the international students who have been asked for sex for rent. The absolute horror and disgrace that is. The second problem we have, particularly in urban areas, is that issue of education professionals' retention due to high rents and unaffordability. Housing costs in Ireland are already among the highest in Europe. Rents have doubled in a decade, and there is double-digit house price inflation. Newly qualified teaching staff, SNAs and other educational staff cannot afford to pay ridiculously high rents and certainly cannot afford to buy their own homes. They are locked out of the market, yet again expected to turn up every single day to teach, support, help our children and young people in our schools and education services. In October, half of primary schools in the commuter belt, as it's called, could not find teachers to fill vacant positions. The National Teachers Organisation survey in the autumn found that these shortages in teaching staff have a profound impact on the quality of education in many schools. Schools having to resort to unqualified staff, teaching staff, because they cannot afford to live here. Yesterday I spoke in this House about the lack of school places for children with special needs. These vulnerable children being failed by this country, housing has a significant role to play in that failure. The motion we are proposing has a vision, a pathway to ensure that we start to get out of the housing disaster that's destroying this country on so many levels. I'm speaking about it from the lens through the education system, but there is not an element of life that it does not affect. Garv Magat.